Welcome to SKST Radio, and you are tuned in to Real Talk with Cammie Grayson, one on one. And my special guest today is Mr. Michael Devarian. Devarian, and I messed it up, didn't I?
The war is on. The war is on. But that intro was dynamite, Sammy. Man, you were on fire. I love the intro.
I'm
The
fired.
name
I'm
is
fired.
First things more important in life than names. I've always told people. Some people be
No,
like,
not at all. No,
Jack,
it's just,
and I
it's,
go,
I'm telling you, when
well,
I have
no,
a
but
day,
I
I
could
have a
be
day.
Jack if you want. I mean.
Well, Michael, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for my help today because I needed it.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, welcome. Okay, so you are one of the co-stars in this new movie called Deadlock, and let me tell you, I did view the movie, and it was phenomenal. I thought it was just action packed from start to finish. So I was excited about it. I'm sure your audience is going to be excited about it. How did you get to be a part of this movie?
Thanks, Tony. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie. And yeah, I got to see it on the big screen in a theater in Los Angeles yesterday. And so it was kind of fun to see it on the big screen with good
Yeah.
sound and everything. Yeah. So yeah, it was a real honor to be a part of this project. I've worked with the director before. His name's Jared Cohen. He's become a good friend of mine, and we have a great working relationship. And I knew about the movie for a
Mhm.
while, um, but it's like that thing in Hollywood. You can't expect anything. You
Mhm.
just have to suit up and show up and do the best you can, and sometimes things fall into place and sometimes they don't. So I knew the movie was happening. um, we had talked about it, but it's one of those things of I didn't really have any expectations, and frankly, I when I knew it was inching closer, when the announcements came about the film, I didn't think I was going to be in the movie.
Wow.
um, and so um, and that's just Hollywood, that's just life. And then I got a call, and suddenly it was like, got, do you want to be a part of the movie? Like this, there's this role. It's a great role. It's throughout the movie opposite Bruce Willis. And I was on hold for another job. So I was like, well, when are the dates? And I'm on hold. And he's like, just say yes. And I was like, and he put the producer on. I'm like, okay, yes, let's go. So 48 hours later, I was on a plane to Georgia
Wow.
to do the movie.
Wow.
That's how it came to be.
So, when you read the script, what were you like? Was any of it scary to you? Did you think that you'd be able to pull it off, or what was your thought when you got the script?
I was just reading the script and going with the journey of the story and taking a look at my character, and I thought he was pretty straightforward. Um, my hope was is obviously the stakes are higher. You're in a Bruce Willis movie.
Right.
I just hope that when the time came and they yelled action, that I did the best that I could, and that was, you when you start thinking to the future, like I'm actually going to be on set looking at the real Bruce Willis doing a scene with him. Am I going to freak out and forget my
Mhm.
lines, or and so you just kind of go, I'm just going to trust that it's going to be there. I've done this enough times, and so I just made sure I was really prepared. And once I got on set, it was just about relaxing, getting grounded, staying present, and just trying to be in the scene and work opposite another actor, another human being, a character.
Right. Right. So, what got you here? How did you get started in the acting world?
Well, as a kid, I had a dream of being an actor, but it was a very far, far, far away dream. And I grew up in the entertainment business, but that wasn't really what made me want to be an actor. Was watching these movies as a kid, the Pink Panther movies and Smokey and the Bandit, and I just thought it was just fascinating what these guys did. Peter Sellers and Jackie Gleason, who are actors known for their comedy.
Mhm.
And so I did some plays as a kid, and then I got a call to interview for a TV show in Hollywood in the '90s called Melrose Place, and I went down and met with the producers, and I got hired, and I was on that show behind the scenes for 3 years, and I learned the ins and outs. And that, ironically enough, is where I met Patrick Muldoon, who's the lead actor in Deadlock. He was on the show for a season, so I got to know him while I was there, and I hadn't seen him in 16 years when I walked on the set of Deadlock, and there he was. So after a few years in production, I got a shot to be in front of the screen. I always wanted to do that, and I had been studying acting, and so that opportunity came along, and that's kind of how it started.
Wow, wow. So is this kind of like a dream come true type thing for you?
This movie was definitely on that career highlight. You know, doing a Bruce Willis movie and having a good role in it was definitely a dream come true. Absolutely. I mean, I was so grateful for the opportunity, and really every opportunity that's come my way. You know, because it's one of those businesses where you just don't know. There's dry spells where nothing happens, and then there's times of excitement where something happens, and you get a break, and you think it's gonna, and it's just about showing up, doing the best you can, and so yeah, this was definitely, absolutely. I would definitely use those words, dream come true, in this project.
Wow. You seem like such a humble man. You just, I mean, you're just adorable. You're not so adorable in your movie, but this person here that the world is getting to know, such an adorable person. I mean, so humble, and I mean, you give your props, and I love that about you. I love that about you. So, how
Thank
did COVID affect your filming?
Yeah, so we were still in COVID, and I had done, let's see, by the time I did this movie, I had done 2 movies already during COVID. So I was already, uh, used to it with the
Mhm.
masks and the COVID testing protocol and the keeping the masks on unless you're doing a scene. And so um, I had adjusted to that process already. So when I went, I knew what to expect. I think what made it different, or the stakes higher, was this was a big opportunity. And as soon as we flew in, right, like a bunch of us all flew in together and got picked up and taken to the hotel where the production office was and where all the actors and production was staying.
Mhm.
And the first thing you do when you get there is you go in, you check in, and you do a COVID test. And so, like, we all had the same look on our face. It was a look of terror. Like,
Yeah,
what if the test is not negative? They're going to put me on a plane and send me back.
yeah, yeah.
We were all, nobody was talking about it. We were all just quietly sitting there waiting for the results, all sweating because, this was a big deal for all of us.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was COVID times, and like, there's no guarantee. And the fact is if you had a positive test right there, you would have been out of the movie. So that was
So
the
that
first obstacle. I was like, when that thing was negative, I was like, hallelujah. And we went to Kmart to celebrate. And I was behind. I said, oh God, thank you. I just, it was just so, but that wasn't the end. We still had to be smart and be safe. And we were doing testing all the time. And we were lucky to get through the whole thing without anybody, having an issue. And so I was just very grateful to make it through in one piece.
So was Bruce Willis touchable? Were you able to get the opportunity to just talk and chat with him and get some nuggets of wisdom from him?
Uh, the environment didn't really allow for that, at least for me. I was opposite him throughout the movie, and he was on one side of the desk sitting down, and I was standing, and there was, at least 5 feet, 5 to 6 feet between us. Um, so the environment didn't really lend itself to having a conversation across the desk, and I didn't feel that it was appropriate to walk up to him in between takes and start up a conversation with him. So I kind of kept it professional and let him be. And So I just kept it about the work, and we had fun working together, and we improvised a little bit, and they kept some of those moments in the movie. Outside, in between shooting scenes or lunch or something like that, I had the opportunity to have a few words with him, but I kept it brief. I just um, yeah, I didn't want to. I would love to have a sit down coffee or lunch with him and really ask him his thoughts on life and acting and a lot of things. But we were shooting so many pages in any given day, and the sense of urgency was there, and it was like you had to be on. And again, if I'm doing a up close and personal scene with somebody, there's more time to have quiet talk actor to actor in between.
Right.
But when you have 6 feet between you, it's kind of difficult to be like, so what'd you think of the sunset, Bruce?
Yeah, right. So, what were your takeaways from your taping in this type of environment?
I was used to it because I've worked with the director before, as far as it being fast paced, having to be ready, being flexible, being fluid, and um, so I was prepared um, to work in that way,
Mhm.
which initially, when you're not used to doing that, it can be a little bit shocking because it's so quick and you have to get it like now. You can't spend 30 minutes doing take after take after take. It's just you got to get it quick. So I was prepared and used to working in that fashion, so I felt quite comfortable with doing that. I think the takeaways is making movies and life in general is a collaborative experience. You know, it's not It's not Michael's show. It's our show. It's our movie. We do this together. So it really had a family vibe on it. Everybody was in there giving it everything they had, from the people on set and to all the actors, and no egos. Everybody just trying to do the best they could. So it was just another great example of the power of the group,
Mhm.
strength in numbers.
Yeah.
Can't do life alone.
No, that's
Thought I
true.
could for a long time.
That's true.
Can't do
So
life
what
alone.
so what was the fun moments though with making the movie?
Well, Jared, the director, and I, we have a great rapport. We have a lot of laughs. And even though we were really focused on what we were doing, there were some moments for us to have a few chuckles, and Patrick is a lot of fun. He's got a great sense of humor, and he was very fun to work with. And then Matthew Marsden, who's the big guy,
Mhm.
who's like Bruce's right hand guy, one of his right hand guys in the movie.
Mhm.
We got on very well, and so we had a lot of fun, even though we were at each other's throats in the scene. We got on famously. We were like, "Hey, we need to be doing a buddy comedy because like all this fighting each other, like, we get along too well." So yeah, we would have a lot of laughs, and I'm always looking for the humor. I'm always looking for the joke. I got to try to, you know, um, I think I'm kind of a serious type. I'm intense and kind of take things seriously. So it's always good for me to try to find a little levity. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I
I
like
think
that.
what was really fun, the whole experience was fun. But what's great is when you do a scene and you do the scene and they cut and you feel good about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
That means you
You know,
landed it.
that's
Yes.
like instead of like that feeling of like I want to do it again. I want to try. So feeling like I was close or really did what I wanted to do with the time I had. That was great. Felt good.
So was there any part of the film that you were not happy with, the way things turned out? Or were you just, everything was on point?
Well, that's a trick question because I believe that everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. So, um, I did have a monologue that was a longer piece of dialogue that was one of the more impactful scenes. I think it still had some depth and weight, the scene as it was, but it was longer and more informative when we shot it. So that scene, and that happens. Scenes get cut, they got time, they have to keep moving and stuff like that. So I thought I would have liked to have seen more of that moment of that scene. Other than that, I was pretty happy.
Well, that's good. That's good. So what's next for you, Michael?
Well, I'm really into writing. I've just recently finished my fourth screenplay, which is a thriller, and I just love the writing process. My dad was a songwriter and a music composer, so not that that's screenwriting, but I think it's something I really love and I'm passionate about. Writing, the writing experience, I love it. So really focused on that. I am possibly going to be doing a couple more movies here. We'll see in the next 5 months. I've got another movie coming out tomorrow, Friday on Lifetime. It's called A Daughter's Deceit,
Okay.
and it's a thriller, and that's out tomorrow on Lifetime Movie Network.
Okay.
Got another movie called Nix, which is a thriller horror movie that's coming out sometime in 2022. I don't know when. But yeah, right now I'm looking at a couple of scripts and I'm hoping to climb aboard.
Well, this is your season. It sounds like you're just busy.
Yeah, I feel really lucky.
Yeah, that's so
I feel
cool.
really lucky. Yeah.
So cool. Well, I'm so grateful that you took the time to be on the show with me today and share with our listeners and our audience. Because this is on audio as well. So sharing with our listeners in the audience, the behind the scenes. This is nuggets that you have to be on the set to get, and so we're getting that good juicy from gossip and stuff from you. So thank you so much for being here on the show, and again, man, I love what you're doing. I love your personality. I love the movie was great. I'm telling you, that movie is good. So it is going to be the number one hit. I kid you not. I'm a good judge of character. That book, that movie is going to be good. It's going to be out there. So, I mean, you were fantastic. Mr. Willis was fantastic. I mean, what was the lady, the pregnant lady? What was her name? She was pretty good too.
Yes, Kelsey.
She was really good. She played her role really well. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
we had
you
that
had a
one
whole bunch
scene.
of heavy hitters. Bunch of
Yeah,
heavy hitters.
no, I'm telling you, everybody was giving it their all. Yeah.
And so it was great. So our audience will be able to see the trailer on our social media. They'll also be able to go back and see this on our website, skstradio.com. And we'll get everything edited in for you, Michael. And then we'll send you a copy so you can have it to use for your promotions.
All right.
So, any type of wisdom, any nuggets that you could give to a fellow actor who's trying to get in your shoes?
Um, my advice to actors would be to study the masters, to study film, to study the classic movies, to really become a student of the art of the craft. Um, and that would be the basic thing. And then my advice in life in general, and this would go for actors, and this has been my experience, has been, never ever give up.
I love
We
it.
have to keep showing up. We have to keep showing up and doing the best we can. And we have to not give up, because sometimes things don't work out the way we had planned them to. And sometimes things don't work out in the time that we had hoped they would. And sometimes it's easy to give up or get discouraged. And I've definitely had
Yeah.
those periods in my life. So for me, it's been about, don't leave before the miracle happens. Keep showing up, keep an open mind, an open heart, keep doing my work, keep studying, keep learning, be open, and teachable, and you just never know. There's no guarantees in life, but you just never know. Things could fall into place. You might get a stroke of luck, because that's what happened to me. 2+ years ago.
Mhm.
Is I was going along doing my life, and I'd had some success, but when I least expected it, I've been on the career role of a lifetime for me.
Wow.
So it was just a great. Um, it was just one of those God shots. Like, okay, this is not a sprint. It's a long distance run. Life. Um, so
Nice.
yeah.
That's nice. Well, I appreciate that. Yep. So, well, thank you, guys. You can see this movie. It is out in selective theaters. I mean, I actually have some things posted on my Facebook, where you can actually go and see the movie as well. So all that'll be placed together, and it is. I mean, Deadlock is the movie. You guys need to go see it, support it. Also, please leave comments, and what you think, your thoughts of the movie. Um, hey, it's a great movie. You don't want to miss this movie. You want to get out there and make it happen and share with your friends. Please share the video. And let's make this number one at the box office so I can be right and go back to Michael and go, see, I told you. All right, Michael, thank you so much for being on the show. Have a great rest of your evening and happy holidays to you.
Thanks, Cami. You too.
Thank you. Bye bye.